So you want to embark on a long distance travel in Nigeria and you're wondering if you should go by air or by road. Recently, I did both. I traveled to Ibadan by road and returned to Abuja by air. In this video, I want to share with you the pros and cons of road and air travel in Nigeria. But before I get right into that, let me share with you a highlight of my trip. Nothing fancy, just an introvert kind of trip because I was indoors mostly. I'll be right back. So, what are the advantages of road travel? The first advantage of road travel is that you get to see nature, the countryside, landscapes. You pass through many towns and villages and see how people there seem to live in an entirely different world from what you're used to. You get exposed to different kinds of music, both in the car and by the roadside. You meet strangers in the car, and over that 10-hour journey, you may bond with them and even exchange contacts at the end of the trip. And then there are many things you could buy by the roadside as well. If you love an adventure, you would love road travel. The second advantage is that you get to learn long suffering from sitting in a car for 10 straight hours. You will toss and turn. It will seem as if the journey would never end. You will dance in your seat as your driver navigates potholes. Block your nose from the dust if you boarded a car with no air conditioning. You will know the names of all the family members of the person sitting next to you. But at the end of the day, through all the stress, you will arrive at your destination slowly but surely and breathe a sigh of relief. You might even laugh for joy when you see your sister who you've not seen in months. You might wake up the next morning with body aches, but that's nothing to worry about. You'll be fine in a day or two. Now, the disadvantages of road travel. Number 1, you might fear for your life when you pass through lonely roads and see roadblocks and people in army uniforms, because these days on Nigerian roads, it's difficult to differentiate the real army from kidnappers. But on this particular trip, I had a run-in with a real army. I had been making videos all the way from Abuja until we got close to Lokoja, and I was so focused on catching this billboard in my shot while the white van in front obstructed my view that I didn't see this army officer until it was too late. If you didn't know, it's an offense to use your phones at army checkpoints. An offense I was told could get your phone smashed on the floor. What happened next was that we were asked to park and I was ordered out of the car. My phone was seized and I had to beg for a few minutes before it was returned to me in one piece, thankfully. Now, that would have been the end of this vlog, wouldn't it? But thankfully it wasn't. The third disadvantage is the time you spend on the road. On this particular trip, which was almost each free, I spent 10.5 hours on the road, including stopovers. Now, if your destination is Lagos or Ogun State, you are looking at about 12 to 14 hours or more with traffic. And the roads are bad. Overall, it is an extremely stressful sport to do long distance travel on Nigerian roads. Now, for air travel, the first advantage, of course, is that you get to your destination in no time at all. And if you don't like the passenger sitting next to you, no problem. You are only stuck together for an hour or so. And tales even have it that people meet their partners at the airport or on the flight. But sadly, on this trip, I couldn't contribute to that statistics. In the first instance, I got to the airport very late, like 15 minutes to take off, and my composure wasn't particularly attractive to any potential suitors there might have been. And then, when I got on the flight, the passenger already seated next to me was very female. She was nice though. She helped me take a shot of the clouds because I didn't get the window seat. I was even lucky to be on the flight at all. The second advantage is that you get to spend all that money you've been saving on your own comfort. You feel good about yourself because you're literally on top of the world and you have the opportunity to actually get a glimpse into what luxury looks like. Especially when you see the people in business class and wonder why they would pay much more for a 45-minute flight. In all, I think air travel shows you possibilities. It shows you how much better life can be. And then number 3, air travel is relatively safe when compared to road travel, especially on Nigerian roads at this time in history. And with air travel, you don't stop for fuel and there are no checkpoints like you have on the roads. The only disadvantage I see with air travel is that your pockets may feel lighter afterwards, especially if you belong to the middle class, because airfares are much more expensive these days. In all, I spent 90,000 naira on my airfare, excess luggage, and ride home from the airport, while I spent only about 12,000 naira from my house to my sister's house in Ibadan when I traveled by road. Refreshments inclusive. And there you have it, my thoughts and experience about road and air travel in Nigeria. Can you think of any other advantage or disadvantage that I didn't talk about? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know which mode of transportation you're likely to use during your next long distance travel. My name is Ajidara and I talk motivation and lifestyle, the introvert kind of lifestyle. I'll see you in my next video. Stay inspired.